And your final exam, as I mentioned earlier, is to make a page one. I've given you a zip folder and a download area, resource area, with a bunch of stuff. It's not new, as in they are older stories, because once again, I would prefer to look at and read other stories that are not about the virus. It's from what is kind of a routine news day, a number of different stories. I would normally have been giving you a handout with all of them to show you, on paper what they were. You're just going to have to wade through the folder. Let me find that for you. I did put the A1 template in here that you can use. It's our regular A1 template in the library, which you can use. That's updated. Afghanistan, Afghan women with some interesting images. Mozambique flooding, Seattle crane disaster, synagogue shooting, and Twitter terror. All from at least a year ago or so. I think that's how long ago it was. Anyway, but you can treat them as if they're fresh stories now. And I don't think they're particularly dated. So it's a bunch of interesting stuff, but, and of course you have a cut line file there too. And there's a measles story too, I forgot to mention that. Measles was, again, interesting. That was the big virus that we were worried about before. So that's a bunch of interesting stuff, but not like overwhelming. Use our regular paragraph styles, use our regular template, all the normal rules that apply. This just says, by the way, we are doing a traditional 5 or 6 element page. Okay, page 1, traditional page 1, as you've done before. Guidelines, all the normal guidelines. Headline sizes start at 72 or 60 at the top of an A1. You're going to jump every story, probably. You may jump every story. Use the jump lines that are supplied. You don't actually have to make the jump page, though. Be aware of the fold. Get at least 3 elements above the fold. Don't abandon the bottom of the page to gray. Must include subheads in at least one story. A few of these stories include dashes to show topic breaks. Don't leave these in. Replace these with subheads. If you see anything that has a bunch of dashes in the story, that's a place to put subheads in. I suggest, in fact, let me just tell you, use at least one pull quote. Cut lines needs editing. Must include at least one refer to an imaginary inside story. So it's a regular quote and then a refer, which is quote-like, to some imaginary inside story. All this having been said, yes, your magazine project is just as or more important than this, but assuming that that's well underway, consider doing this ahead. And then why don't you talk to me or send it to me or show it to me one way or the other, and I could give you some feedback, and then you could fix it up. At least print it out for yourself if you have the ability to do that, and go through it and self-edit. Take some time to get this right. And maybe do a couple different versions of it and pick your best one and so on for submitting. So I don't actually have a due date for this yet, but that will be announced later when we get the final exam schedule. I hope this works out for you and you can take some time with it. Enjoy it as your last page for me. Otherwise, stay safe and stay in touch.